Hi, welcome to my video. Thanks for joining me. This is actually a continuation of my last video where I was starting the Camino from Porto. Now I made it all the way to Caminos and then I had to make a decision whether to cross the river or go inland. Stick around and you'll see what I did. Well, good morning. Another fairly early start, 7:25, and yeah, the hostel last night was good. I sat outside and had a wine with a couple of people and then went out for dinner with a few more people. It's a really lovely evening. Just a dorm of 4. We had one snorer who was actually very late to bed. But apart from that, all good. Now I'm going to walk along the river, whose name I'll put in here because it starts with M, but I can't remember it. But I'm just going to show you across the road because that's Spain, where I'm not going today. I'm going to Valencia, but you should see the mist. It looks cool. So that's looking over to Spain, where I'm not going today. I'm going to continue down this river, that I mentioned. So yeah, look how misty it is over there. So pretty. I love going down rivers first thing in the morning. Well, just going across the bridge out from Caminos, and yeah, it's still just as beautiful. Not a very big bridge, and I haven't seen any other pilgrims yet this morning. So I've been walking now for nearly 3 hours, 2.5 hours from Caminos, and I've really only just got off the highways and I'm finally down by the river. Not that you can see it, because let me flick you around and see what it looks like. So there's the river. Yeah, you wouldn't even know it was there. So white, but it's nice. I was up on a busy road and a few trucks and things going past, so it's much nicer to be down here. Well, I can't say today's been the most exciting of days on the Camino. Simply following the Minho River all the way until I had to climb over this log. But yeah, it's I don't know, I wonder. I came this way because that was recommended by the guy in the auberge where I stayed last night, but the actual Camino trail went inland a bit more, and I tend to think that might have been a tad more interesting. I've only seen a couple of people, just as many going in the reverse direction, and yeah, not walked with anyone at all. So I'm tossing up whether to stay at Valencia or Tui. Valencia's only half an hour away and it's only 1 o'clock. So at this stage, I think probably Tui. Oh, and there's been no coffee shops. Oh, finally coming through. Valencia, I've met some other people. Oh, this is a cool castle. Very cool. Now these people are from Portugal. Yeah. So it looks like we're coming up to the bridge to cross into Spain. That's pretty exciting. Lovely couple. I've just been walking with for a few moments. I might just keep going. But yeah, pretty cool. Yes, and here I go, walking the Camino across the bridge into Spain. This is pretty momentous. It's not actually halfway, but a lot of people do start the Camino here in Tui, where I'm just approaching, because from Tui to Santiago, it's just a bit over 100 kilometres. And to do a Camino and to get all your credentials, you have to have done 100 kilometres. So yes, a lot of people will join here, and I think it's going to get busy. Cool bridge, right? Excuse those fingers. Happy now. It's nice to have talked to someone. It's funny how you get lonely after walking for 8 hours. So there we go. I am walking into Spain. So I took very few photos on that day that I walked along the river. There was a few arrows, of course, because I was following the Camino, and then yes, the bridge, and of course had to take a few more on the bridge because changing countries on foot is pretty momentous. So there you go. I was in Spain.
So you would not believe it. Like, I'm literally 5 minutes away from the hostel and it started raining. How annoying. I'm not going to struggle into my poncho again. It's just too much of an effort. I'll just keep walking. So you must be just about at the auberge. This one is actually a pilgrim one that I can't book into. My map shows that it's not too far away, and I was still following the arrows, and there's an arrow over there, so I'll follow that. And that's what it's all about, just following these yellow arrows. So this is the Pilgrims auberge that I've just checked into. It's very basic. There's sadly not a kitchen. There's actually not even a kettle, so I can't make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And there's only like half a dozen people there. Mixed gender dorm, which I don't have a problem with. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll do the Pilgrims auberge again. They're just very basic, and I haven't actually talked to anybody at any length. There's a guy next to me, he doesn't have much to say. That's actually looking down to the river, the one that I've walked along all day, and that is actually Portugal on the other side. Good morning. Yes, I'm leaving in the dark again. Now I've come into Spain, so it's an hour's time difference, so although I'm up at the same time, it's still dark. So yeah, I had to get up because everyone else in the dorm was up and there was no way I was going to sleep. So I thought, oh well, I'll hit the trail. So I'll talk to you again when it's daylight. Hopefully not too long for a coffee, because at the Pilgrim auberge that I stayed at, there was no kitchen. There wasn't even a water tap. So there you go, onto the path.
So thankfully I did meet someone else on the path, and we agreed to go and have breakfast and wait until it got light, which was really nice. I ended up walking with her for probably the next couple of hours. Plenty to chat about, and I think she was from Brazil. So yeah, turned out to a good day.
And we're just on a detour, avoiding an industrial area. And look what they're doing. They're doing logging. Little baby logs. And I'm walking with a lovely couple from Vancouver. So Joanne and Jeff. Joanne going across. We'll give them the other idea. Thanks anyway. Oh, she's going to turn around. Yeah. So today's been really good. First of all, I walked with, I think her name was Larissa maybe, from Brazil. And then I walked with Joanne and Jeff from Vancouver, Canada. And now I'm just on my own, and I'm just going to show you how busy some of the highways are that we've been walking near. So there you go, the busy highways. And I love that there's a warning that the Camino de Santiago actually goes past here. So just so motorists know to watch out for us walkers, us pilgrims.
Well, that truly was a terrific day. It was great walking with a variety of people. There's Joanne and Jeff. And I ended up walking in with a girl from the UK. And yeah, that was fun. And then we met up with another guy from Canada, and the three of us went out for dinner. Oh, it's so nice to share these meals with other people.
Yes, good morning. It's dark again. It's 7:45 a.m. and all you can see is the bottom half of my face. That's a bit funny. So yes, it's raining again, and setting off through the little alleyways of really Mondela. I'm not sure, I'll put the name somewhere. Just had a coffee and croissant. Don't like walking in the dark, but I am following some other people, so that's good. But it's no use lying in bed, everyone else gets up, so I'm awake, I'll get going. Okay, we'll see what today brings. Well, yeah, it's really light now. I did follow some people for quite a while, And then I sort of started on my own because I find I do walk faster than a lot of people, and it's hard to keep their stride. I haven't really chatted much to anyone except a guy from Switzerland who was walking with a girl from Czech Republic and another one from Slovakia. So behind me here, this is a lavanderia, or we'd call it a laundromat. Very old, not sure of the history, but yeah, quite interesting. So the rain continues. I actually don't know what town this is. I find it's a little hard to work out some towns, but it's quite cool. I've just stopped and had a nice coffee and a nice chat to my daughter. So that's always a nice way to start my day. It's 10 o'clock. I've been walking for 2.5 hours, I guess. And yeah, it has been much heavier rain today than yesterday, but it's still not horrible. You know, it's all okay. And yeah, I've talked briefly now to a few different people. No long walks with anyone though. And so the rain continues. This is not too bad. It actually looks worse than what it is. These rocks are all granite, so they're really easy to rock hop on, which is just as well. Wouldn't want to slip and fall. Yeah, it is such a wet day. So I've just taken a diversion to miss a town, not sure where, and a very muddy track, walking with Emma from Michigan. And yeah, feet are wet. Everything's wet now, I think, but neither of us have fallen over, so yay, that's good. Wow, under Main Road Bridge. Look at this, isn't this beautiful? We're just in the middle of nowhere. Can you hear that rain? It's just torrential. Definitely the worst day ever. But actually still fun. This is really pretty. So good to get off the main track. Something different. You're not walking the river. So I've just had coffee and a sandwich at Pontevedra, and I've made the decision that I'm going to carry on and do some more today, even though it's pouring with rain. And I am sorry about these spits of rain, but that's just how it is. So I'm just going to pop into this cathedral, see what there is, and then I'll carry on. So if my feet weren't already wet, they certainly would be now. So I've just walked through that water. We'll watch when the car goes through what I've just walked through. Yeah, I think they have a drainage problem. This is so much fun. It's not cold, it's just raining. And yeah, I figured I was already wet, so I may as well carry on. It's awesome. I just stopped on the cover to check my map, and I've discovered that I've missed the turning for the spiritual variant. So I'm not going to go back. I'm going to take the road. I'll just follow it in a normal map. I'm very disappointed in that I didn't even see anywhere that gave me any options. So, oh well, I'll carry on and follow my organic maps. So here I am, all freshly showered. So after missing the turn off for the spiritual variant in the Camino, the rain just got heavier and heavier. I checked my map and I had two options. I could either totally double back, which would have taken me an hour just to get back on the track, or I could take a back road, which actually took me down little tracks which were marked on my organic map, or I could take a taxi. Now the rain was pelting down, the traffic was really heavy on the main road, and then it was going onto a motorway that I couldn't walk on. So I took the sensible option and I got a taxi, and I'm now in residence at the monastery, and I'll put the name of the monastery here. it's very quiet. I have my own room, which is perfect because I need to dry my shoes and all the clothes that I was wearing today. Thankfully, my pack is really dry, but once again, my little pouch that I keep my passport and my money in got wet. It just seems to always get wet, unfortunately, and that's something I'm going to need to replace on some other trip, but I'll show you a little bit of the monastery anyway. So out the window here, and you can see, or I think you'll be able to see, that yes, it is still raining. And out the other side, I don't know how much of this is monastery land and how much it belongs to other people. And there's very long corridors in this monastery. There's a couple of rooms that I've been into. There's a TV room, there's just some lounge rooms, but there's literally, I don't know how many rooms, heaps and heaps as I walk past. And this is the entranceway that I came in the taxi. Hopefully it's fine tomorrow and I'll be able to take some videos outside, but that's what the outside looks like. And this is a multi-story dwelling, so I think there's at least 200 rooms here. And that's the tidy half of the room. And there's the Chinese laundry. Yeah, thank goodness I've got some room to spread out, that's all I say. Well, it's finally stopped raining, so I've come outside at the monastery to have a look around. And yeah, I'll share that with you. And that's where I am. I don't know the history of this monastery, but there is a museum here, so I'm going to go and see if I can have a look inside. But look at the mist down on those hills. Oh, doesn't it look bleak? Hopefully tomorrow it's going to be a nicer day. So I've come into the museum here, and you know what? It reminds me of, I think it was the Westminster Abbey in England. As soon as I came through here, I'm like, wow. And of course, how many videos of churches have I taken on this European trip? But each one is different. Like, look at this. That's pretty cool. So I've come into the rectory now. There's some pretty cool artwork. I mean, yeah, there's mosaics in here. And they always come up much better than when I'm filming them than when I look at them with the naked eye. I don't really know why that is. Maybe it's my eyes. But yeah, they're awesome, aren't they? I really like this piece. It's like, this is made out of marble, this here. It's just sitting on a wooden chair, like this coat thrown over. Oh, I really like that. Okay, the lady's just shown me into this other area. She told me something in Spanish. I'm not quite sure, but I think I can walk through here and then find another exit. And this garden's, there's a glass screen between all the pillars, so yeah, can't actually wander around there, which is probably just as well because it's raining again. Well, good morning. It's a little bit later this morning. Here's the monastery that I stayed in last night, and dinner and breakfast was included, so that was really nice. And I enjoyed my dinner with Tacey and Eloise, both from the States. They'd met while they were travelling, and because I've had breakfast, it's already light this morning. So I have got my poncho on, not actually raining at the moment, but rain is forecast for the next 2 days. But anyway, I'm going to go and try and find that Camino trail that I lost yesterday, and I think it's going to be another good day. And again, my day started off really nicely because I had a nice video call with my elder daughter, and that's always nice to see the grandchildren and have big chats. Okay, so let's go find the path. Wow, the monastery looks really cool this time in the morning. And that is always a good thing to see, that yellow arrow. Nothing written on the shell. Actually, I haven't shown you the back of my pack. I must do that later. Well, I'm really having to keep my eyes peeled this morning because the signs, the formal signs, are actually not in yellow and blue that I'm used to. They're just a sort of muted brown and very easy to miss. So fingers crossed I don't get off track. As you can see, the path is still very wet from yesterday. So yeah, again a little confusing, but I didn't go off track this time. And yeah, that's a big inlet down there. So, yeah, nice to be on the coast. A little bit windy, so I'm wearing my poncho. So far I've been walking for nearly half an hour and not a speck of rain. Oh wow, the seaweed comes right up onto the walking path. They must have had some pretty ferocious waves there. I mean, you wouldn't think it now, it's really calm. But I think they probably will collect all this seaweed. I've had to come down on the beach. Collect all this seaweed because it makes really good fertilizer. And they have some really healthy gardens here. Not quite sure why I'm not getting vegetables when I have meals out. But yeah, they can grow some good crops, that's for sure. Well, I've come up quite high already. Lots of little twists and turns. And this may be the last time I see this part of the ocean. Not too sure. This house here's got a really good spot. So I've been really enjoying coming up the hills. Just I can get a really good pace going. I do feel like I'm very fit at the moment. And I'm not sure if I've mentioned, but my pack just is working really well. It's a Osprey Kylie 38, I think it is. I'll double check. If it's not, I'll fix that as a comment. But yeah, it feels really, really comfortable. And by having my Osprey pack cover on and my poncho that I bought in Decathlon, everything in my pack stayed dry yesterday, which was fantastic. Well, it's now 2 hours, still no pilgrims, and I really could be walking in Australia. This is all eucalyptus forest, and I'm up in the mist. It's just beautiful. I saw a man with a couple of dogs earlier, and there was a group of 4 mountain bike riders, and I've also been hearing some motorbikes. So it is Sunday morning. So people out doing what people do all over the world. So nearly 3 hours, still haven't seen any other pilgrims, but now come down out of the forestry mountain area and onto this little track. I did just come down a really steep track, and actually I thought I'd turned my ankle on a rock, but thank goodness it seems to be okay. But yeah, I can't believe that I've not seen anyone else. And yeah, I've got my poncho on, just a little bit of spit, not real rain. So I'm going to continue, and hopefully I'll find a cafe soon. Well, the rain might have not been all that much fun yesterday, but man, it's made for some beautiful waterfalls. I mean, look at that. So much water rushing down. And this is the little bridge I'm on. I'm being super, super careful. Well, I found a cafe and I had a nice coffee, and then some cyclists came along, so I chatted to them for a while, which was really nice, and they shared some churro with me and told me it's more Spanish than the flamingo. So how about that? And have a look at this beautiful church. I was talking to the girl, she's going to get married where I stayed last night. She thinks it's better than this one. So here's the little church by where I stayed and had my coffee. Yeah, it's pretty nice. There's going to be a mass in a couple of minutes, so there's a lot of people around at the moment. Then I went down the track and there was a roaring river over the track, and you had to walk along, or hop and then walk along a log. And I'm like, I'm so not doing that on my own. You know, if I slipped, I'd be gone. So I had a look at the map and I've found a road that I can go on, and hopefully I can loop back up onto the trail. So, and see behind me here, there's actually a bike path on the side of the road, so very safe, not like yesterday. So I'm leaving this main road and going down to this place called Cuso, and hopefully this is where I can rejoin the track. It's a much quieter road. Not that I had any problems on the other one, it was great with the cycle lane. So it was from up there that I didn't follow the path, and now I'm back on it, and yeah, all should be good. These don't look like they're pilgrims. So these waterways are just so cool. Look at this, it's all going underneath this stone building. So the track goes down here. It's rather washed out. Let's see where it goes. Okay, this is where it comes under the building. That's pretty cool, right? So another area of the path is totally blocked off. There's no way I can go through there. So I'm going to have to go back this path. Can't quite remember where the place was, but it will come up on the photo I just took. And yeah, I'm going to have to follow the road and work out how I can get back to the path again. Wow, all that rain yesterday and the day before, and the ground's already soaked. So yeah, made a big difference, I think, to this path, and maybe that's why I'm not seeing people. Well, there you go. I've come right across the peninsula today, and I don't think I've got too much further to go. It's now 20 past 5. I started at 8:45. Well, I've come around the corner and there's more bridges. So this will be the one I'm walking across. Oh man, my feet are really tired today. 40 kilometres, that's just a little far. Well, good morning. And yes, it's another dark, rainy morning. And I'm just waiting for the boat that's going to take me from Villanueva de Arousa. Now there's been a lot of activity out there with boats. As usual, I'm early. So hopefully a boat pulls in here fairly soon, and I can get on board. Oh, perhaps this is it. I did hear that it was a fairly small boat. So yeah, I think this is the one coming in now. So I'm quite lucky that a boat leaves at 9 AM because depending on the tide, depends on when the boat goes. So at least it's daylight. Well, yes, this is our boat, this little boat. We're going to be on it for an hour and a half down to Padron. So just the three of us, lovely ladies. And yeah, thankfully it's not too windy. Well, where we are now. So there's no undercover on this boat. It's just sit outside and wear your ponchos. So here they do a lot of mussel catching or cultivating. These flat platforms they have chains going down. And here they are.
Plataformas para el cultivo de mejillón.
Harvesting it.
En Galicia tenemos 3.300 en todo Galicia, ¿eh? Y en esta ría, en la ría de Arousa, hay 2.300. El 80% está aquí, ¿ok? Y ahora vais a ver cómo están levantando el mejillón para procesar, para llevar al mercado. These are a platform for cultivating mussels.
Mussels, yeah. I thought so. Thank you.
In Galicia, we have 3,300 platforms.
Wow.
And this area, in this bay, in the Rio de Arousa, we have 2,300 platforms. Okay.
So there they are, chaining them all up. And I just flick them off. So there's 12 different crosses on this trip, and we keep stopping to have a look at them. So I felt I'd better take the photo even though everything in me is getting wet, and I just wish we'd hurry up and be there because it's certainly not pleasant. There's no cover and I've got rivers of water running everywhere. So you can see as we get down to this part why the boat only goes at certain hours depending on the tide. So yeah, it's actually quite pleasant now when we're not going fast. It's not quite so cold. Well, I can honestly say that was a really unpleasant boat ride, but eventually we disembarked and I could have a coffee. So I'm walking with a lovely couple from Ireland, one from Dublin, one from Donegal. Really nice couple. So it's lovely to have someone to talk to again, and just gone through the city of Padron. so different from yesterday when I was going past rushing rivers and over mountains with mist and eucalyptus trees and no pilgrims. Today I'm seeing so many people. Not sure how many are walking all the way to Santiago. Some people stop, so they arrive in Santiago in the morning ready for Mass. So many times I've gone through vineyards and in this case under the vines, and I think about how in Australia a lot of our wineries are large companies, mass-produced wine, and here in Spain I think most of them are mum and dad enterprises, which is just lovely because a lot of the young people are leaving Portugal and Spain, so they need something to keep people here, and wine growing might be the thing to do. I did not go the wrong way, had I? That would be really embarrassing because there's a lot of people around to see me go the wrong way. So yeah, and also there's lots of corn growing, lots of maize as well, so just showing you a bit of the scenery. So I've only got 15 kilometres to go on the Camino, and my feet were so wet. They were starting to get sore in the bottom, they were quite wrinkly. So I've had to resort to putting on my sandals. So the shoes I've been wearing have been Merrell's men's shoes, and they've been perfect, no problems at all. And the sandals I've put on, whoops, sorry about the sun, are also Merrell's. So I have worn them quite often, just not on the Camino, so we'll see how we go. I'm just having to manage some tree roots. I thought I'd got a flat bit of the path to talk. Okay, so I'll just carry on, and yeah, sorry about that sun. So this is not a good area to be wearing sandals. It was very muddy just a moment ago, and now these rocks, but I'm going to persevere because yeah, I think it's better for my feet to wear the sandals just for now. Well, half an hour later, and the sandals are still going fine. It is better when I'm on bitumen, even though it's a little wet and it flicks up. But yeah, much easier than the mud and the rocks, that's for sure. And more comfortable than those wet, soggy feet. So it's all a little weird. I've just arrived in Santiago de Compostela, and it's just like full of tourists, and it's a very surreal feeling. I just had to stop and have a beer and some olives because I'm like, so now what do I do? There's no one here to celebrate it. I looked around, I didn't recognise any of the faces. Anyway, I'm going to continue down this laneway and I will show you the laneway. And as I arrive at the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela. So there it is, down the end of the alleyway. Now, I'm not sure exactly how many kilometres I've walked on the Camino and how many kilometres in total I've walked. Today's Monday. I started the Camino on Saturday a week ago. So I've done it much quicker than I thought. I thought I'd take at least 2 weeks. So, you know, that's pretty good. I'm quite proud of myself. Yep, so there we go as I arrive, the bells toll, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so here is the Cathedral de Compostela, Santiago de Compostela. And look at that beautiful blue sky. How nice is that? It's really weird, all these people are just sitting, contemplating, a lot on their own. And I'm like going, and now what? So that was all a bit of an anticlimax. I made it to the cathedral. I felt really good. I had a beer just before I got there. And yeah, now I'm going to go and find out about the fact that I've got stamps in a little leaflet, which I'll show you if you haven't done the Camino. But I'm going to do another Camino. Yeah, how about that? So I've now got my certificate showing how far I walked and the fact that I did it and that I got all the stamps in my little book to prove it. And
well, I think that's just a pretty good place to end this video, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my Camino as much as I did, but as promised, I'm doing another Camino. So for now, I'll say goodbye, have a good evening, and until next time, ciao.